Hey, Princeton K, it's Mrs. Glory. I'm glad to see your faces, glad to see that you are logging on, getting on YouTube and checking out some of our videos to help you keep learning and growing your brains so that you can be ready for first grade when that time comes. I'm here at my house, a beautiful sunny day, but before I go outside and play and take a little walk, I wanted to share with you our second story in our packet today. So we're going to go ahead and look at our packet together. All right. So we know that we are working on our second story, how the rhinoceros got his skin. Okay. And just like we worked on with the first story, remember what animal we learned about in the first story? Yeah, how the camel got his humps. So we said that we're going to be working on identifying the characters. Remember we said that the characters are the people, the animals, and the objects that talk in the story, okay? And that here it says creatures, but we know it could be a talking cat, like Pete the cat, or it could be the crayons that fight back. It could be a story about a talking crayon, or it could be a person, okay? So we're going to work on identifying the characters today as we read how the rhinoceros got his skin. So you can go ahead and circle the title on your packet. I'm going to show you a real picture of a rhinoceros before we get started. You look at the pictures of rhinoceros, and they have a very sharp horn on their on the front of their face. They also kind of live out similar to where a camel lives, but this would be called the grassland. So there's a lot of dry land. Rhinoceros baby with its mama. And sometimes rhinoceroses are known for being kind of grumpy animals, not very nice. And we see that they kind of have some smooth skin, but they're big. They're very big animals. They would weigh a lot. Do you think you could pick one of those up? I don't know. All right. Another word we're going to hear in the story is the word gobbled. Can you say gobbled? All right. Here's a picture of a silly boy. He's gobbling up. I think that's a donut, ice cream donut. I don't know. He's gobbling it, so eating it up really fast. So that's the word gobble or gobbling. And another word we're going to hear is the word smooth. Right? When we think about smooth, we think about some soft rocks, some smooth rocks. Or we think about a smooth ball. Doesn't have any bumps on it, nothing pointy sticking out. We think about smooth, silky fabric, okay? I want you to find something in your house that's smooth right now. Can you think of that smooth? All right. So as we get ready to read our story, we're thinking and identifying the characters as we read the story, how the rhinoceros got his skin. All right. By Charlie Wilder. Charlie, if it says by Charlie, then we know he is the author. Good. All right. We're going to go ahead and jump into our story. Just take a look at the picture right now. Rhinoceros, it's just a man. Looks like some problems going on. Okay, let's get started reading. It says, one day a baker made a plum cake. I'm so happy, he cried. It's perfect. But just then a rhinoceros came along. He was big and did whatever he wanted. So he gobbled up the cake and moved on. Only a few crumbs were left. How do you think that baker's going to feel? Yeah, look at the picture. We think he's angry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's find out what happens. You destroyed my perfect cake, the baker shouted after him. You will pay. Think about that voice. Look at the punctuation. What do we call that? Exclamation point. Good. That's an exclamation point. He's using strong feeling. He's upset. Very good. And let's look at the next page. Make a prediction in your mind. What do you think is going to happen in this picture? Looks like rhinoceros is about to do something. Let's find out. The next morning was hot, and the rhinoceros went down to the river. In those days, rhinoceros had smooth skin with buttons. Touch where you see the buttons. Yeah, good. Those are the buttons on them right there. The rhino undid the buttons and took off his skin. Then he went swimming. Could a rhino just unbutton himself and take off his skin? No, that couldn't really happen. No. So this would be a fiction story. Right, so he goes swimming. Let's look at the next picture. Ooh, who came back? Who's that character? The baker. The baker saw the rhinoceros's skin lying on the ground. He laughed. He had an idea. The baker gathered the cake crumbs from the perfect plum cake. He dropped them inside the rhino's smoothie. Why would he do that? Why do you think he's playing that prank on him? He's trying to get back at the rhinoceros or the rhino. Good. Oh, what is the rhino doing? Look at that picture. Think he's having a good time? No. When the rhino came out of the river, he put his skin back on. His skin tickled and it itched. How was it itching? What did the baker put in? Ground. Good. The rhinoceros rolled around. He rubbed against a tree. His skin got rumpled and wrinkled, but the itching did not stop. Ooh, look at his face. Does he look happy? What do you think he's feeling? The rhinoceros. Soon his rubbing broke off the buttons. The rhinoceros couldn't take off his skin anymore. From that day on, every rhinoceros has had folds in its skin and a bad temper too. All right, so if we look back at that picture, rhinoceros, see they kind of got some bumps on them. Not super smooth, got some folds, some wrinkles. So when we think back to the story, how the rhinoceros got his skin, do we think that's a fiction story? Is that make-believe? Or was it true? Something in real life? Yeah, we call that fiction. Yeah, rhinoceros can't really take off his clothes and get put crumbs inside of the rhinoceros skin. So that would be a fiction story. All right, so now we're going to get ready to look at some questions together. So I want you to get your pencil. If you want, you can go ahead and pause the video and you can reread the story back to a family member, maybe your parents, your brother, your sister. Just do the best you can, as many words as you know, or go ahead, you can circle your sight words or find digraphs in there, or look closely for those blends, okay? But once you push play, we're going to look at question 1. What does the rhinoceros do on page 1 from the story? He steps on the cake, he bakes the cake, or he eats the cake. Think back to what he did. You can turn back to page 1. I'm not going to scroll back up, but you can look back at page 1. What does the rhinoceros do? He steps on the cake, he bakes the cake, or he eats the cake. Circle your answer. Question 2. How does the baker feel in this part of the story? A, the baker is surprised. B, the baker is mad. Or C, the baker is scared. Look back at page 2 from the story. How does the baker feel when he sees the rhinoceros and what he did? He's surprised, he's mad, or he's afraid, he's scared. Circle one answer. Question 3. What does the rhinoceros do at the river? A, he takes off his skin to swim. B, he washes his skin in the water. Or C, he pulls the buttons off his skin. This one comes from page 3. So go back and look at page 3 in the story. Oops. What does it say he did at this part of the story? Okay, and then go back. The questions. He takes off his skin to swim, he washes his skin in the water, or he pulls the buttons off his skin. Circle your answer. Question 4, this comes from page 3. What is the skin of the rhino like? A, his skin is dirty. B, his skin is small. Or C, his skin is smooth. So look back at page 3. And what does the story tell us? What word did they use? Is his skin dirty, small, or smooth? Look what your answer. Question 5, go to the next page. What does the baker do in this part of the story? A, he gathers crumbs to make a cake. B, he puts crumbs inside the skin. Or C, he drops crumbs on the ground. So look back at page 4. What does the baker do? A, he gathers crumbs to make a cake. B, he puts crumbs inside the skin. Or C, he drops crumbs on the ground. So clear answer. Question 6, how does the rhino feel after he puts on his skin? He feels hot, he feels itchy, or he feels wet. Look back at page 5. How does the rhino feel after he puts on his skin? He feels hot, itchy, or wet. Look back at the story and find the word that makes the most sense of what the character was feeling. Okay, a few more questions here. Question 7, what happens to the rhino's skin? What happens to the rhino's skin? Choose the picture that shows what happens to the rhino's skin. Okay, so look closely. It looks like A, it has some bumps. B, it looks like it got smelly or stinky. There's flies around. Or C, oh, sorry, A, it looks like it got wet. B, got stinky. Or C, it got bumpy. So A is it got wet. B, stinky. Or C is bumpy, like rough. Choose your answer. Oh boy, I'm drawing pictures all over. Choose your answer. All right, last question. Look at the chart. What happens at the end of the story? Choose the correct picture. Let's look at the chart. You see the first word, it says beginning, middle, and then end. So we need to find out what happens at the end of the story. Beginning, think about what the rhino did. In the middle of the story, think about what the baker did. And at the end, think about how does the story end? The rhino is angry. The rhinoceros is angry and bumpy. B, the rhinoceros is running away from the angry baker. Or C, the rhinoceros is itchy and rubbing his back. So look at the last page in the story. It tells you to go to page 6, the last page of the story. How does the story end? Circle one picture. All right, once you have done that, you have finished your packet for this week. So, let me stop sharing the screen. So you're completed with the packet for this week. I want you to hold on to the packet and make sure you save that. So when we come back to school, you can return that and we'll collect it and check over your work. If you get a chance, I would love for you to text me a picture of your work and show me what you've been working on. Or you can have mom and dad FaceTime me, call me so I can see some of your work. I would love to see that. Be looking out for more videos in the future. All right, bye Princeton K. Have a good day.